shop will be closing in 5 minutes. At this time, please make any final purchases and make your way to the doors in the front lobby. Thank you. We hope to see you again.
Sorry for being late.
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm always early, so.
Cool.
It's something you have or had in common. Well, with being his, you know.
Yeah, true. It ran in the family, so.
So I've heard.
I only have like a little bit. My roommate is covering me with the dorm advisor, so I shouldn't be here.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. So, this is his favorite.
Yes. It was. Do you know why he loved this one so much? I've never been able to figure it out.
Well, it's pretty, and the form is I don't know, I'm not really like a great painter, like I sculpt, so.
Oh.
It's a different medium. I don't know if he told you, but.
He did.
Oh.
He would send me pictures of the sculptures he made.
Oh.
They were weird. In a good way, though. Very Beetlejuice. But if they were made by Lydia Dietz instead of Catherine O'Hara. Not that they're not great the way they are, though. It's just...
Thanks, I guess.
So, do your parents know that you're,
Hell no.
And, that's okay?
Trying to convince them to let me go like, for the program, for the whole summer like that was...
A struggle?
Yeah. But I knew I had to. It had been so long since I heard from them. So no. No, they don't.
That's perfectly understandable. I mean, from what he told me, that whole situation
I didn't even know he was... I didn't even know he didn't even say he was, not even in that last letter.
It was in the newspaper. The one I sent you, did you...
I know, we don't get that. I tried to show my parents. It's like they didn't even react at all. It's like to them, he hasn't even been alive in a
I lied.
Huh?
It reminds him of home. The orchard down the street from that first house growing up.
Yeah. I wasn't born yet, so...
Funeral leaves veiled. Whispers of sweet surrender on the breeze. And yet to others, the soft fuzz of something growing. The rotted scent seemed to them of splendor still to pass.
What's that from?
Him.
I don't mean to be rude. But do you have him?
Yes.
Can I?
His friends, our friends, chipped in for the, so they wanted to decorate it. They went a little overboard, but loves that movie, so. The service was nice.
Nice? Can I,
Yes.
I need to take him home.
What?
I need to take him home to spread his. I
No.
thought you were going to
can't-
let me.
No, you see, you're too young. You can't take it. You need credentials, and it's
Then
all a
help me get
process.
him. And fly back with me. Maybe if my parents saw
No,
you.
no, I can't. I can't.
Why?
Because he doesn't belong there.
You just said it. You just said his favorite.
I didn't say that. I was speaking metaphorically.
Well, he
It
should
was
be
poetic.
there.
It's a,
He
look,
should be
look, we can talk
alive.
about
He should
this,
be with
okay?
my
Just-
family. He
just-
should be. He
let's
should
just
be.
sensible
He
about
should
this.
be home.
That place hasn't been his home for a long time. This is his home. I am his home. You can't. I can't take losing him. Again, I can't.
It's not about
I
you.
know.
You're not the
I
only
know.
person.
I know.
He didn't tell me. Or he didn't get to tell me everything. So what? I only get to have the shape. But you get to have the form.
You're still in town for a few more weeks. We can. I can show you places that he liked. And you can meet our friends, and we can find places to spread his together.
and I can tell you everything you want to know. About us, about him, if you want me to. And that's why we're, you know,
Here.
yeah. Oh, no, no, you can't. You can't just spread him on a painting like that. Oh my God! I can't believe you just did that! Are you crazy?
Well, my parents said he was, so yeah, probably. Now you, hurry. Hurry before everybody
I can't
sees.
just efface a
Come
public
on.
painting like this.
Now.
Oh my God.
Say something.
I think I just did.
No. About him. Or whatever.
Well, I just met your sister, and you always said she was one way, but but in a lot of ways, she's a lot like you, but also very, and I mean like very different. I was scared to come here today because I thought I'd see her and see you, and I did. But if you're watching her right now, if you can see her here, then you're definitely proud. And you love her. Because even in losing everything, you never really lost that. And yeah, that's it.
was nice.
Thanks.
I've been here for too long, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Will you walk me back to the dorms?
Yes, of course.
beginning to worry. You were almost late.
I still am, and I'm trying to, here I am.
I'm hardly wrong, so it should delight you to know that you are quite on time. Not perfectly, but so few of us are.
I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just a little confused because I was on my way to work, you see, and then do I know you, or?
That's probably why you stepped out into traffic.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I knew you were going to, I just didn't know why. I was looking back over your file like, I remember giving her a little depression, but I never thought it was going to get this bad. Guess I was a little heavy-handed there. But not looking where you're going because you're so focused on where you want to be is a lot more in character for you.
I stepped out into traffic?
Yeah. On the bright side, you won't be doing that again.
No, I wouldn't do that. You see, my mom and the Wiggles, they taught me that you look both ways when crossing the street. Not once, but twice. No, I remember I was pulling into work, and I was running a little bit late because the stupid card reader wouldn't work at the stupid gas station. So I had to, like, go in and actually talk to the cashier, which I really hate to do. But then I was pulling into my parking spot, and I locked my car, but I wasn't sure if I locked my car. Because I have, like, this really weird thing where I have to check several times. So I was digging in my purse for my keys, and I was looking at that.
And you looked back at the car as you continued to walk. I remember now, but to be fair, he was going way over the speed limit. And texting, so technically it was his fault too.
How fast?
Like 30 and a 15. Hefty ticket. And a vehicular manslaughter charge at least.
Oh my God, am I disfigured? Am I going to be able to have an open casket? Or?
Depends on how good a makeup artist the mortician is. You've got some pretty heavy bruising on the right side of the face.
And you're sure?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of bruises in my time.
No, I mean about the dead part.
Oh, that. Almost certain. You're actually not quite dead yet, so there's still hope. go making any plans or anything. For all intents and purposes, this is it.
So this is being dead.
Just the start.
Okay, are you like an angel or something?
No.
Right. I was pretty sure that this is hell then.
No, it's not hell. Think of this as neutral ground. Traffic going both ways on either side of you. But here, perfectly still.
I still don't understand.
And that is expected of you. Dying can be a very traumatic experience that can take some getting used to the first couple of times. Well, older model. You generally only get one,
Would you just
right?
stop cutting me off in the middle of my sentences? I mean, Jesus.
What about it?
I guess I thought he'd be here.
Did you?
Yes. No, what? Oh, I didn't expect any of this.
Yeah. I'm not too crazy about it myself. You know, if I'm being honest, it's been a long time since I've been to one of these. I'm usually pretty booked up, so I send a lesser deity in my steed, but you just happened to fit into this little half-hour slot I had free up when my masseuse had to reschedule. When I was briefing myself just before, I saw you were fairly young and American, so I thought, this could be good. Comforting.
I mean, I don't think any kid ever wanted to go to the McDonald's Playplace. He just kind of ended up there.
Seems kind of appropriate, don't you think? Though I admit 22 is a lot older than I remember it to be.
Okay, this has got to be like I'm in a coma or some kind of crazy head trauma dream, and you're just going to be this wiser version of me in my head. Or this is our Dumbledore King's Cross moment. You're going to be all, oh, pity the living, Harry. And I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to be suddenly fulfilled in life, and I'm going to do yoga, and I'm going to get a dog. I'll get a dog, and I'll take him on walks at sunrise, and I'm going to learn how to make pancakes. I'm going to learn how to make pancakes, because I'm going to become someone who actually eats a breakfast instead of just drinking coffee like a trash person. I'm not going to be afraid of the wrinkles that I see in the rearview mirror, because those will mean that I'm still alive. I'm just going to squeeze my partner's knee as he drives us home from our kids' college graduation. Oh my God, this can't be it. I have so much more that I wanted to do, and I didn't have the time. And no.
You know, this is reminding me why I don't come to these anymore.
Well, I'm sorry that my young, tragic death is an inconvenience for you.
It's just really bumming me out, you know? You all make so many excuses for yourselves. I gave you plenty of time, you just didn't know what to do with it.
Okay, that's another thing. Who or what are you?
I kind of thought that was obvious by now. I'm God.
Oh.
You seem disappointed.
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought that you were supposed to be like really big and fit the whole world in your hands, or that we'd be balls of light right now, like at the beginning of It's a Wonderful Life. I wasn't expecting corporate America, white CPA stepdad.
Have you seen Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Have you seen Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Of course, it's a classic. If you saw me at my full potential, it would melt your face off, just like that creepy Nazi guy.
Right. Could you about my face off? Like, physically speaking, is that how science works here?
Okay,
Or...
one, I invented science. Two, I can do what I want.
Why not put me back?
Where?
Like on Earth, make me alive again. I've been to church. I know that you can do it.
I mean, that was once, maybe twice. And if I knew everybody that died was going to drag that back up, I wouldn't have bothered in the first place.
It'd be so easy for you, right? You could just snap your fingers and we get back together again in like 60, 70 years and just laugh about it.
I mean, I could. But why? What makes you so special?
Okay, I feel like that's a little mean coming from you.
You're derailing. It's just a question, and if you've got a good answer, I'll consider it.
Okay, Okay, you said that you don't usually come to these anymore. These being death orientations, I guess.
No, not orientations. They do orientations in hell. Little songs, dances, everything. Meetings, too. I like to think of this as just a little chat.
Okay, but like I was saying, you said you don't usually come to these little chats anymore. So why would you pick mine if I'm not a special somehow?
I didn't pick yours, though. Like I said, that's just how schedules lined up today.
But you make the schedules, yeah?
Yes. But I will have made them long ago and far into the future. But here, middle bits.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't really get what you mean by yeah. Like, this may send me to hell, but if this is all just a big joke to you,
No.
then
Not at all. Am I laughing? Smiling right now? No. I take you all very seriously, which is part of the problem for me. We had so much fun in the beginning. I was experimenting with all these temperament zones, just really pushing myself as a landscape artist. To this day, some of my favorite mountains, right there. The color palette. You didn't get to see it before they smoked the joint up, but wow. Making water reflective, that was a stellar choice on my part. The animals, I was the most back then. I really wanted there to be like links between everything where you could look at all the animals in a gallery one day and be like, oh yes, this was his deer phase. You can see some of the techniques he used in his moose phase. They carried over, but he really refined the strokes, resulting in a more delicate feature. Which is nice, don't get me wrong. But if I were to go back, I'd streamline the whole creative process. One kind of carnivore, a couple little furry guys, just a very clear, sleek design statement from one end of the food chain to the next. I mean, who needs 350 freaking thousand kinds of beetles, huh? Apparently I do. I get carried away with myself. They're just so small and dumb, which in the end is part of their charm. But then I had the idea for you guys. I notice all my artists do it, so I'm not sure if it's a chicken or the egg kind of deal, but I went through this self-portrait phase. And I figured I could make myself over a zillion times, but I'd make each one a little different. And then, at the end, I could find the common factor. You know, what trait or idea took root in each of you, and I figured that would be my best one. At least I hoped it would be. After that, I set it up, got it going, and I know I did a fairly good job because for the most part, you kids are able to run yourselves. You know, I pop back in every now and then, give her an oil change, and bam, back out on the road. You're really going places too. Some days I could not be prouder. Others, you leave me room, but I'm mostly pretty proud.
I don't understand. You just pop back in?
You know, you ask a lot of questions.
I'm trying to understand how all of this works. I mean, you tell me that I'm dead and the McDonald's, and then that there are too many Beatles in the world. I'm not mad. This is the worst Wednesday I've had in a really long time.
Well, you don't got to worry about Wednesdays anymore. Whatever those are.
No, when I think about it, I actually am a little mad because I can't help but feel that if you were doing your job, I wouldn't be dead.
Oh, we're still talking about you.
Okay, not just me, but like anyone. There's lots of us, and you could stop it, but you don't, and I don't understand why. I mean, you just said that you take us seriously.
Oh, yeah. I believe in you. And I care about you. I just have other things to do, so it's not so much that I don't want to be with you. I just can't be tied down. I'm God.
You sound like literally every shitty boyfriend I've ever had right now.
Ooh.
They helped you build character.
And now you sound like a shitty dad. Like a shitty dad who cheated on our mom, and now you're gonna go start a new family. And you don't want to have to pay any more in child support than you have to, so he like keeps his custody of you. But you can tell he likes his new kids more. You see it in the toys that they get for Christmas, and his face at their baseball games that he actually shows up to. But hey, he mails you a check every year on your birthday, and he's the only dad you got, so you'll live with it.
Well, I wouldn't know. I never knew my father.
Well, it's probably worse to have a disappointing dad than to not have one at all.
Well, sorry to disappoint. Genuinely though, when I was dreaming all this up, I didn't expect to have to live up to each of your individual standards.
I forgive you. That feels a little wrong.
Probably is then. Okay. What would you have done differently if roles were reversed?
Well, for one thing, I'd stay. I wouldn't just leave people to get sick or raped or murdered.
You act like I'm the one doing all these things when really it's kind of the kettle calling the pot, huh?
I didn't do anything like that. I was a good, fairly decent, moral person.
Great. Why didn't you stop it?
That's hardly fair. I mean, there's just one of me.
No. There's only one of me. I made zillions of you. You were supposed to help each other and not have to bother me unless it was for something really big or really small, like throwing up in a toilet. Or actually being on the toilet. I mean, it's amazing how many people pray to you when they're on the toilet.
No!
People you haven't heard from in years. You suddenly got all these requests.
Right.
So, what were you saying?
I was saying that you didn't give us any powers or anything.
You weren't supposed to need them. You had each other.
Well, that worked out really well, didn't it?
Yeah, can't say it's all gone quite as I intended.
Well, what did you intend?
I didn't really. I was just making stuff to make it. We were all a real creative set back then. Just getting started, and the healthy competition between the gang just pushed us to be innovative. And I was set on giving you all a curated experience, not an authored one.
So you set this all up and then you left.
It's not like that, all right? You all just live for such a short amount of time. Or maybe it's that I have no concept of time. And you all have these little lives. You intertwine with one another so deeply, and you all ask for so much. It didn't take me long to realize that you all believed that in order for some of you to live the lives you dreamed of, you had to rely on making ways for other people to live very far outside of their little dreams. I created you all to dream. And the day you decided to make that a privilege, people aren't designed to last without dreams. So, I figured it's the beginning of the end. I threw myself into other projects. Planets, I guess you could say.
Right, so you got angry and then forgot about us.
No, I didn't forget. I couldn't. And more than that, I couldn't believe you were lasting so long. You gotta hand it to me. I gave you adaptability to thrive in everything I created, but you kids took that and ran with it. Couldn't be more proud of that.
Well, it seems like you could show it a little more.
I've been incredibly patient with you because I understand you are dealing with a lot of difficult things right now. Well, that, and I'm trying to reform my image from the early days as the kind of god who just smites people down for the thrill of it.
Honestly, go ahead. Smite me. I'm done. I'm done. I cannot imagine it's any worse than having to listen to all of this.
Have you ever been smitten? Smite. Smoke? You all made English way harder than it needed to be.
I cannot say I've had the pleasure.
Because it's awful. That's why I don't do it anymore. It's really not good for anybody, especially not the smitee. I'm sure you're aware of the fact that matter, energy, cannot be destroyed nor created, yes?
Aware, yes. Totally understand it. Probably not.
Okay. If I were to smite you, right here, right now, all of the energy that makes up you ceases to exist, wiped from the cosmos, which in the moment doesn't sound like such a big deal, but it throws off the balance of everything as we all have to try to adjust to this sudden loss of energy. Messy things start happening. You got black holes, rips in the space-time continuum. It's a lot more trouble than it's worth.
Lucky day for me then.
While I'm well aware of your sarcasm, it really is a lucky day for you.
I just died.
Yeah, basically, but you're also just beginning your education on how this all works. On what's really important. It's sad, yes, but nothing trains us quite so well for greatness.
Okay, but I'm still sad and I miss it and I didn't even get to say goodbye. Like, could I at least be a ghost for a little bit? Like, make sure that everyone I love's okay?
I feel like we're backsliding. You were asking much better questions before, and I've only got about 15 minutes left.
Well, are you mad?
I wish. Or rather, I wish you were mad. I can use that. Call you to action with anger. Harnessed the right way, anger leads to action.
And sadness, I guess, it's not much use to you.
Oh, it is a very much use to me. It's just a lengthy process. Sadness, as I said before, trains us for greatness. It expands our capacity to feel or even be anything.
I guess that's why you do so little to stop it.
On second thought, the Playplace really is an appropriate choice for you. So much of you still being a child is the only reason I can think you would come to me with these simplistic accusations. Look, I know you were not granted the experience of being a parent, but let me tell you, there is no way to come out the other side of anything better than you were without some adversity. You can't rush to a child's defense every time, or they never learn to defend themselves. So I don't see how you can criticize my inaction as if I take joy in your suffering.
Well, I mean, do you? There's certainly enough of it to go around to build a case against.
I am on your
It
side!
doesn't feel that way!
Well, feelings are temporary.
But they're all I have left of who I am now.
That's only temporary too. Who you are, I mean.
Well, who am I then?
You are becoming. Always.
No, not anymore. I mean, I was going to have this great life. I think a lot of people, they don't know what they want to do with their life, so they try to create all this busyness so that they don't have to think about that. Then they try to make the rest of us busy too, and we spend all this time being busy and trying to live that we forget why we wanted to in the first place. Almost. But I knew that if I could find some way to break free of the busyness and the business of it all, that I'd find my life out there, waiting to be found or built or painted, and every day of my life felt like the moments right before the big race when the horse is waiting to be let out of the gate. And I knew exactly where I was supposed to go and exactly what I was meant to do, and that I could win if someone would just open the damn gate, but they never opened the gate. And just when you think that you could bust it open yourself from the inside, break your leg, and get put down on live TV. And you die.
I suppose you're wondering why I would give you this sense of purpose if I didn't intend for you to use it.
Only if you have a good answer.
I do. That doesn't mean you're going to like it.
Then I'm good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I've had to sit here and listen to a lot of things that I don't like today, and people are always saying that you're not supposed to give us more than we can bear, so I would prefer to not.
Wait, people say that about me?
Yeah, didn't you know?
I try not to listen to gossip. Do you think it's true?
I'd like to believe that, but there are things that make that hard.
Belief is supposed to be hard. Gotta leave room for mystery, a little doubt. You know, doubt is really just curiosity with a cloak. I like when you tap into that. Your curiosity. It's when people are at their best. When they're most like me.
You know, I think that there's been a mistake.
I rarely make mistakes.
Well, I think I am a mistake because I am not sure that I want to be like you.
Okay, explain.
You love people when they are like you, and I love people for who they are.
You have just described the same thing!
Well, that's not all of it. I mean, I wasn't finished yet.
Go on.
I'm not sure how to say it.
Well, try.
I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget how to love people on this small scale. You know, I don't want to forget the smell of my sister's shampoo, or the color of my dad's eyes, or the slang that my best friend uses, or used. Or the shape that my finger could make when tracing a boy's shoulder. I always want to be small enough to see all these little things and love them. And you don't get to do that.
No, not always. Not anymore.
Doesn't that make you sad?
Yes. That's why I have to keep creating. Keep making more to love, because the good thing is, you can always find room for it. Okay, that sounds like a Hallmark card, I know, but I designed it that way so I can say things like that.
You can say what you want. You're God, after all.
Now you're getting it.
Is this a real place?
Depends on what you mean by real.
I mean, if I were to go through that door, where the restaurant should be, would I be able to get a milkshake or fries or something like that?
Seriously?
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't get to eat before work, and now I'm really hungry and sad.
Oh, they must be trying very hard then.
Who?
The paramedics.
I'm still alive.
Probably just barely. Since you're still hungry, it'll pass.
But what if it doesn't? What if I pull through? What if there's still time for a miracle, right?
Not today.
Why?
If you're going to ask one-worded questions, it would be a better use of both of our time if we just played in the ball pits.
No, I get when you say that you can't bring me back to life, like that's fair or whatever, but I don't understand how if I'm still alive, you can't just save me.
Why do you want to go back when you can go on? Look, I know I created a really special little world for you guys, but it's not everything. There's just so much you don't understand yet.
I know, and I'm trying
I
to.
know! That is the most frustrating thing about it, that most of you really are out there giving it your all and still come up short. You hold on to everything you've made so hard. You don't have a free hand to make anything new.
I wasn't finished yet.
And you wouldn't have been. Whether you lived 20 more years or 120 more years.
I want a milkshake.
You're still hungry.
No, I want to taste something. Thanks.
I forget how angry young people can be.
Well, I think I'm allowed to be, given the circumstances.
That you're young?
No, that I'm dead.
Oh, yes, that. I suppose I wouldn't know. You know, I've never actually been dead. Or maybe I always have been.
I just don't understand.
You keep saying that. Drink your milkshake.
I don't want it.
Well, if you change your mind and then it's all a melty slush, don't come asking me for another one after wasting a perfectly good milkshake
It is one milkshake.
that you didn't appreciate after I made it especially for you.
I'm sorry. I didn't think of it that way.
It's just one of those things about you guys. You all just never seem to understand that it really was all for you. And you. You act like you're the first person to be disappointed by God? Let me tell you, you aren't. Okay? Not by a long shot.
Is it hard? Or stressful? I was always told that you had this limitless power, so I'm trying to
Yes,
understand.
I do, but with it, I have this limitless responsibility. And at first, it was really nice to be needed. I shouldn't say it like that. It is nice to be needed. It's just always. Now, I know there's going to be a time before and after always, but that doesn't make the always moments any easier. Understand?
Not really, no.
I didn't think so. The others, they didn't either.
Others?
Colleagues.
Oh, I didn't realize you had any of those.
Sometimes. You may fault me for it, but there are far worse things that God can be than unintentional. At least I'm not unethical. Or worse, indifferent.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe we should be aiming a little higher than not actively cruel in any form of government, like celestial or otherwise.
Don't lump me in with politics.
Okay, I'm sorry. My grandmother, she always taught me not to discuss religion or politics for that matter.
I know I don't.
Well, I guess you don't have to. Oh, then did get all melty, you're right. It smells good now.
Not to say I told you so, but
Would it be wrong of me to say that you're a little bit of a know-it-all?
wrong? I mean, I'm omnipotent, so no. Rude? Yes.
You always have a little way to turn it around, don't you?
Meaning?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the omnipotent one. I just think that you're really good at making it seem like none of this is your fault.
Because it isn't.
Okay, but if you just told me that everything is by design and you designed everything, then you have to take responsibility for everything.
That is not the way it works. Don't you understand yet?
I guess not. We're just going to keep talking in circles like this, and I'm trying to understand.
I don't think you are, though.
Okay, that's not really fair.
It is. It is. You aren't looking for understanding. You're looking for somebody to blame. And you're frustrated because every time you look for fault in me, I think you're going to find it in yourself.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that if you need to believe I'm fallible so that you can share in the act of granting grace, that's fine by me.
None of this turned out the way I thought it would.
Right?
Yeah. I remember for so much of my life, I felt so angry with you. And I think it made me even angrier that I felt like I wasn't allowed to be angry with you. Like, do you remember when I was 7? And you sent a flood after you promised you wouldn't, and everything that I knew was gone, was washed away, and so many people got hurt or died. And their homes, their businesses, everything that they worked for or dreamed of. And you, and they still worshipped you. And you know, it really wasn't anything that you did or didn't do. It was what people did for you in the stories that they would tell and the stories about the miracles that you supposedly performed, like how their Bible pages stayed dry when they lost every photo album that had their family, or the stained glass window at the church that stayed intact while the rest of the town was leveled. And even my own mom, she talks about the pewter cross that stayed upright on our dining room table throughout the ruins that used to be our home.
And did these miracles bring you any comfort?
No, I remember. I didn't have the words for it then. But I could just think how shitty of a God that you must be that you'd save all your own stuff and let my grandmother get hit by a tree. Well,
That's fair.
is it?
Do you really think I had that much of a hand in it? That I personally held a little umbrella over some book you kids wrote for me? I think you do. I think you know we all tell ourselves little stories to make life easier, to convince us that our lives mean more than our everyday convinces us they do, and you should. That is what I made you all for.
To tell stories?
To create! You were made in my image, after all. You accused me of not having intentions with you when really that was the main one. That you all would be free to share in that same joy of commitment, creation that I found in making all of you.
I didn't know that.
It wasn't for you to know. Until now. You really want to go back, don't you?
Yes,
But you know you can't.
yes,
Ah? Acceptance?
almost. I really want to know where I'm going next. I think I'd feel so much better if I just knew where I was going next.
Wouldn't we all? Let's go.
You're coming?
For the first part. And then, of course, the end.
Your signature move.
Something like that.
I'm not ready yet.
You won't ever be. That was sort of your whole thing, right? You just kept waiting to be ready, and therefore you never were. So, there is no time like the present to just jump.
Congratulate our playwrights this evening, Mr. Kullen, Burnet,